So what's up, guys? Justin here at JBM Motorsports. Just wanted to make a video. This will be a different video. This will be a different kind of video. Normally I'm posting, new builds and maybe new cars and whatever the case is. But this one is gonna unfortunately have a slightly different storyline. So, I feel like a lot of people in the industry, including myself, I'll definitely be honest and say this definitely goes for me as well. We try and post a lot of our victories, a lot of our pros, a lot of the positive things that's going on in our lives and our bills, et cetera, but not often do we post the negatives. And when something bad or unfortunate or mishap happens, whatever the case is, and that's no question something that I've always struggled with. Never wanted to have anybody to see me down or, upset or whatever the case is. And I'm not sure if that's been the most healthiest way to handle things, with the car stuff or just with life in general. So this will be my first video just kind of being expressive about the cons to or just highlighting some of the negatives that I go through with this car stuff and then with my life and whatnot. So of course you guys know my personal shop car is the Eruption Green Boss 302, and I haven't raced it much this year, even though the car has been great. Shout out to Randy at RS Tech. He's got me, that's my guy. He's got me really squared away with my tune. Motec stuff has been operating perfect. Shout out to Nathan V out in Australia. Man, I'm so blessed to have those two guys in my corner to help me out with this Motec stuff, help me understand. Because it's definitely been a big journey, kind of jumping out of nowhere and then installing this Motec and understanding it and tuning it, et cetera, et cetera. So really appreciative for those guys that have taken their time to get some of this light out the way, that have taken their time to just kind of help me and educate me and guide me throughout this journey with that standalone. And yeah, so with that being said, like I said, the car has been great, man. We put in a lot of work getting everything squared away and getting it running to make that 6-second pass like we wanted this year. And I'm still optimistic about that. I think we still will be able to get it. It's just gonna take some more work. Simple as that. It's gonna take some more work. The other day would be 2 days from the day I'm making this video, so like end of June. Just driving down the street. I haven't drove the car. Car's been parked in my trailer or in my backyard for like the past month, 2 months. I haven't really driven the car, and so I decided to take it out a couple of days ago. Just take it around the corner, actually. Just drove it to get some gas. I was driving to the gas station, fill it up with some Pump E85. Nothing crazy, just a, standard little cruise or whatever. And while driving, I was going probably about 35 miles per hour. RPM was probably about 2,000 RPM. And out of nowhere, like with no warning, no hesitation, I heard this loud bang. And at first I'm thinking like, man, maybe something in the transmission failed or something like that. So, I rush and pull the car over, shut the car off, start looking around, see if I see anything obvious. Didn't see anything obvious. So I decided to go get the trailer because I was only about maybe 2 or 3 minutes from the house. Go get the trailer, load the car up, and get the car back in the shop. And also shout out to Jordan Martin at Modular Head Shop. He's he's been a pretty significant help in my journey as far as all this stuff goes. But man, so the first thing I do when I get the car back in the shop is I pop one of the valve covers off. Moment of silence for the camshaft. I wish I could insert that saxophone noise, but insert saxophone noise here. Yeah. Yep. Yep. How that happened, I don't know. I know what you fucking thinking. I don't fucking know. I don't know. What are the next steps? I do not know. Well, actually, I do know. The next steps, I'm about to pull this shit out. I'm going to break it down. And we're about to see why it failed, how it failed, ideally. And see what it damaged. And go from there. That's going to be the next steps. We'll likely go back with my original builders for everything, Jordan Martin at Modular Head Shop, and for the cylinder head stuff, and then SC Raceworks for the bottom end short block stuff, and then I'll assemble it back myself like I did with this motor, and that's hopeful, and best case really just depends on what's all damaged. You know, that's probably a $30,000 bottom end, and probably a $10,000 set of heads, which I know for sure the heads will have to be replaced because of the damage to the cam towers. So that's going to be an insanely bad major L on that. But you know, shit happens, and we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna work through it, and we're gonna try and learn and grow from it. And yeah, I mean, that's really all I can do. Definitely is not a good feeling having this happen. But nonetheless, it is something that happened. And then, you know, like I said, it's something I wanted to share with you guys. And just, you know, let this be something for everybody to know that no matter how much money you dump into these things, no matter how well you take care of them, et cetera, you know, shit can happen with this car stuff. And it can happen to any of us. You know, a lot of people will have bad luck like this and think, oh man, it's just me. No, it's all of us. Everybody that's doing this stuff, building these cars, et cetera, has the opportunity to go through something like this. And I don't want to say it's part of it, part of the game, but in some instances it is just part of this racing stuff. You're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have your failures. What separates the good racing programs and the successful racers is how they decide to handle stuff and how they persevere through these rough times, because this is definitely a rough time. Was not expecting this time wise that I'll have to spend on this, or financially, but we'll get through it. All right, guys, so got the motor out. Yeah, Got the motor out. Car looked like shit right now. Spilled transmission fluid everywhere. Of course, I'm frustrated and, disappointed. So this pull out didn't go as clean as it should have. And nonetheless, got it out. Still fucking blowed. I'm going to do as in-depth of a teardown as I can on this to try and figure out what the cause of this was. Still, for sure, as of right now, unsure what happened. But, nothing, just kind of looking at stuff. None of the valve train seems loose or out of shape. Yeah. We'll say this, came out. Wasn't coming out at first, but you can definitely tell that this has some wear to it. You see the marks on the side. So I'm not sure if that has something to do with it, but yeah, we're gonna get this thing tore down and get an idea of what caused this crazy ass failure. Been talking to my friends at Modular Head Shop and Eric and Sammy at SC Race Works. They're gonna help me get this thing back on the road. Really appreciate those guys because this is a pretty shitty situation to go through, quote unquote, by yourself, and I appreciate having those guys just really willing to jump in and help me out any way that they can. Another wild thing, I don't know if you can see right there, but it fucked up the damn cam sensor from the camshaft breaking off and beating around. Absolutely destroyed that cam sensor. So yeah, man, I'm gonna get this thing on the stand and start getting it tore down and kind of go from there. On a positive note, this is a blower built motor car that I'm finishing up. This is Jonathan Hartnell's car from Indiana. Really appreciate him giving me the opportunity to build this thing. It came out pretty clean. I'm trying to show the engine bay a little bit, but this is an ESS blower. I think it's FIC 1750s. It's a piston rod motor that I put together for him. I did the long block assembly. Adam Hum, he did the short block assembly. I did a fuel system, trans brake, bump box. Trans brake and two-step. What else did I do to this thing? Probably some other stuff I'm forgetting. But this thing came out pretty clean. Vapor performance tuned. TBM brakes along with Baylac wheels. Pretty cool build. And I need to finish up building the transmission. We're doing input shaft and stage 2 clutches in a 6R80. And once that's completed, then once I finish up with that, then we'll be good to go. And then I think today I'm gonna get coolant put in this thing after I get this motor on the stand. I'm gonna get coolant and oil put in this thing. I think I got one ground to do on the cylinder head over there, and then pretty much the engine side of this build is done. Oh, I also did a transmission cooler, an evap delete, and a K member on this. I knew it was a couple things that I forgot, but yeah. I know he also has a pretty badass. It's from 1320 Junkies with the carbon lid, Boston intake manifold. Pretty cool. But yeah, kind of bouncing back and forth between these two builds right now. Well, of course, this is not a build for my car. This is some bullshit that happened, but bouncing back and forth between the bullshit. But nonetheless, I'm gonna keep on chipping at everything, and I'm gonna try and do a video for my car up until we get it running, and we're back running. Really hoping there's no issues with the bottom end. This bottom end is probably the most expensive piece to this whole setup. Really sucks because I mean, I'm honest, I did not get to enjoy this motor much at all. Pretty disappointing, to be honest. But nonetheless, I'm gonna just keep a positive outlook on everything and just keep on pushing. I think I'm gonna get this thing tore down and add some more content. All right, guys. So pretty much got the engine and I got the transmission out because I'm gonna do a couple things to the transmission while I got it out. As you guys know, I got the Turbo 400 transmission. Also got the car pushed outside, sitting right next to Laurel's car. And I got the engine on the stand. I'm sure you guys seen this. This is a C8 that came in. The owner's ex-girlfriend put sugar and water in the tank and blew the motor. So I had to pull it out, and actually going to be filed on the vandalism claim. So insurance is actually going to be taking care of everything. But I got the motor and the transmission pulled out. I already got the motor broke down. It's in the shed, and insurance already came by and whatnot. So hopefully be putting that thing back together with a new engine here soon. But we got my motor out. We're gonna start breaking it down tomorrow. And well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm gonna break it down here or if I'm gonna actually break it down at SC Raceworks, or I'm just not sure. I'm gonna talk to my guys and see what they want to do, because this is an insane fucking failure. So I'm sure you guys, and I'm sure they want to know exactly what happened. A chick, probably the most stupid, I'm not gonna say stupid, but the most whatever thing I'm gonna get is what torque specs were the cam caps. 110 inch foot-pounds. These are the ARP cam cap bolts with TKM's billet cam caps, and the torque spec is 110 inch-pounds. And I really don't think that would have anything to do with it anyways, because actually one of the bolts broke completely off into the cam tower. So I don't think it was a situation where one or any of them were not torqued. Truthfully, man, I can't really put a finger on what the fuck would have caused this. Coil bond or something crazy and something fucking stupid. But nonetheless, we're gonna dig into this thing and we're gonna get it figured out. Got this ESS car, got it in the air today, and got pretty much everything wrapped up with the engine bay. So yeah, next thing, like I said, gonna put the built transmission in next with this Circle D converter, and this will be off to the races. We're gonna try and push this one, man. Try and be the fastest G3 ESS car. I think the record right now is 860, and I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to beat that record. All right, so I thought I was gonna make a bunch of videos, but since I suck at doing this social media stuff, I decided to just make one long ass video. So today, we're actually gonna go pick up another block and set of heads, set of Gen 1 heads. That's what we're gonna put back on the car. And then also we're gonna do some stuff at the shop today. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm in Virginia, so I gotta drive to Maryland to pick up the block and the heads. But like I said, we're gonna get some stuff knocked out in the shop first. So I'm about to hop in the E-Ray, and I'm gonna head to the shop to try and get a little work done. I got physical therapy, and then yeah, I'm gonna go grab the heads and the block that we're gonna use for the new build. And we're also gonna be doing the breakdown tomorrow at SC Raceworks, so we can figure out exactly what's going on with the motor, what else we're gonna need to replace, and get a game plan so we can hurry up and get this thing back together. So yeah, I'm gonna pull off in the E-Ray and get to the shop. All right, so we in the shop, got the E-Ray in. I'm about to change out this gasket here. It's for one of the turbo drains, got a small leak. Then we get this pushed or pulled out. And then I got a red S550 I'm about to pull in and get some work started on it. So let me get this knocked out and get this one pulled out of here. All right, all finished up with the gasket swap out. It was just uh, the gasket that's on the drain on the turbo. So it's got that switched out. Ain't really done much to the E-Ray lately. Switched over to G35 1050 turbos, 3.5-inch downpipes, and then I did a custom center rest setup. Then also did the Z06 rear diffuser. That came out pretty good. But yeah. Thing sounds fucking crazy. Love this car. Definitely my most favorite car I've owned, no question, man. I love this thing, man. It's such a badass car. It sounds amazing. Just really can't beat it. So I'm gonna get this pulled out, get this other car pulled in, and I think I actually gotta go run a physical therapy after I get it pulled in, but we're gonna see. We'll see what Tom looks like when I get done. All right, so we got this thing inside. So this was the car that I did my custom single turbo kit on, and it's honestly has been done for probably about 6 or 7 months now at this point. But we ran into an issue with the car because we used barn built headers on it, and the headers were super close to the passenger side frame rail, which is all where all the wiring runs for like the body control stuff, some engine stuff, et cetera, et cetera. And at the time, the customer did not want to relocate everything. So I tried to, do my best to set everything up so it'll still try and be as safe as possible without relocating everything. But long story short, it's just not a way to keep all that wiring there with the way that those manifolds are made. It caused some issues with the wiring, which was pretty much it burned up some of the wiring. And it was honestly that one harness runs along each frame rail, through the front of the car, inside the car, windshield wipers, et cetera, et cetera. So once it got damaged that bad, we ended up having to replace it. And what we ended up finding out was these body harnesses this is a Gen 2. The body harnesses for these cars are pretty hard to find. And it took us, we bought one, I installed it, was not the right one, was missing a few plugs for a few different functions. Ended up having to buy another one. This one is finally the right one. So now we got to get this old one off and get everything put back, which is honestly, it's a pain in the dick. Part of the turbo kit and it has to come off. Intercooler has to come off, all kinds of stuff. But it is what it is. We're going to get this taken care of. Let's roll. Well, I say we're going to get this taken care of. We're going to start on it. Still have to go pick up that block and the heads for my motor. We're gonna get started on this and work on it until I have to leave. All right, guys, we are on the road now. We got a little bit of work done on that red car, but gonna meet up with this guy to buy this. I think it's a set of Gen 1 heads and Gen 2 block. It should be 11 to 12, so hoping to get a 12 millimeter block. That'd be actually good to use for some builds moving forward. But got about an hour drive. It's been 2 hours total, but I've been driving about an hour. So yeah, almost there. Gonna get this head so we can, well, these heads so we can get this green car back together. All right, so I did go ahead and stop because I seen the sheets with some cheap ass gas. Shit wasn't nothing but I don't know if you can see that, but $4 for 93, pretty cheap. Motherfucker, $95 fill up, 93 octane Mercedes shit. It is what it is. Put that right there. Grab the apple juice and a pizza out the sheets. So I'm gonna eat some food while we roll. Gonna get back on the road. Next stop, cylinder heads. Alright, so got to the place with got to the place where the block and the heads were. Looked at them and I did not like them. They had too much wear on them. Cam caps, honestly, I mean, they had some spots where I could grab my fingernail, you know, with the spot. So decided not to grab them. So we headed back home empty-handed, undercover police. Headed back home empty-handed, and we gotta still figure it out. So gonna make this drive, do some thinking as far as like what I plan on doing about the heads, because once again, we got them. I know we're gonna at least need a pair of cylinder heads, and I'm just figure that shit out. Stay tuned. So what's up? Back again, and every now and then I like stopping at the big old Harbor Freight and grab a couple tools that I feel like I want or need to add to the collection or whatnot, and grabbed a couple of things that I needed. Got these from my new shed that I bought a couple days ago, and then got straps so I can strap down the engine when I bring it up to SC on Thursday. Thought these were pretty badass. Got a couple of these. And I needed a 1/2-inch impact because my DeWalt one actually broke, so I replaced it with a Brawler, however the fuck you say it. And I bought another toolbox too. Super excited about that. They had one of the 36 inches in stock, and I went and grabbed that. So about to bring this cart back, and then pull up so they can load my toolbox and head home, get the new toolbox unpacked. I think I'm gonna throw some things in the shed. I'm on this big decluttering thing now, since you guys know my space isn't too big, so kind of big on trying to make the most of it. And yeah, so I'm gonna try and get rid of some clutter and get some more organization going on in the shop. And yeah, super excited about this toolbox. So let's get pulled up so we can get loaded up.
How we doing?
What's up, man? All right, new toolbox. All right, and we loaded up. And we fit perfect. Let's get home. All right, guys, we are back in the shop. Got the new toolbox unloaded. Pretty happy and excited about this, man. I've been working out a fairly small toolbox right there. Just a little, I think 4 drawers. This is a pretty big upgrade for me. Super excited. About to start getting everything taken out of this toolbox and get moved over to this one. And then we actually got a couple more things that I'm gonna do before I finish up my day today. So yeah, let's get this knocked out and then we can move on to the next thing. All right, guys, wrapping up a long ass day. Got my engine for the green car loaded up in the Mercedes. We're gonna be headed to SC Raceworks tomorrow to tear that down in house, so we can hopefully get an idea of what the fuck happened to these this camshaft situation, and also we're gonna check through the we're also gonna check through the check over the rest of the motor just to make sure that nothing got hurt in the process outside of the cylinder heads. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure the cylinder head is toast. But hopefully the valves, looks like the valve springs are good, and then hopefully the bottom end is good as well. And all we would need is a new set of heads, which is not, you know, not ideal, but better than nothing. Got some more work knocked out on that red car. I'll be showing you guys that here in the next couple of days. That should be finished up actually in the next couple of days. Got the old harness out, got the new harness in, started putting the turbo kit back on, and we actually had to order one more harness because it fucked up the body harness and the battery harness. And then the battery harness actually has the transmission side of stuff, so like the, you know, which ain't much for the MT82, but then that's what that car is, the MT82. But yeah, I'm tired as fuck. Gotta wake up early in the morning. It's late as fuck, so gonna get this thing, was already strapped in, good to go, and we'll get cleaned up, headed back to the house because I'm not staying at my house for right now because got my pool done and then my house decided to flood. Not related, but that's literally what the fuck happened. So it is what it is. Gotta get a car moved because, and actually another small update, that red Corvette insurance fucking totaled it. They covered it, thankfully for the customer, but unfortunately for me, they did end up totaling it out because of the price of the replacement motors for the C8s. So they'll actually be coming to pick that C8 up tomorrow, the insurance company. Hate that I really didn't get to do the build on it, but it is what it is. I'll get another opportunity, but nonetheless, gonna be continuing this video tomorrow in the morning. I gotta make it, like I said, make that 3-hour drive to SC Raceworks, and let's see what the fuck happened to this motor. All right, it's early as fuck in the morning. Loaded up. AMG cold start. This sound pretty good. Let's get the SC, man. Let's get the SC. Fucking tired. Whew. Got the Airbnb. Got the Plaid here. Had to change the fucking tire and that shit. That car attracts rocks and nails in the fucking tire. No clue why, but it is what it is. Still an amazing car. We love that thing. I'm gonna show y'all the interior, custom interior that we recently had done in the Plaid. Looks fucking sick. All custom. Shout out to Jeremiah doing the starlights. But yeah, got Dr. Bay in the headrest. That's my My wife's a doctor. But yeah, shit came out fucking fire. Next thing we're gonna do is get the car wrap. It's dirty as hell, you know, normal car, wife stuff. But yeah, custom interior, super nice. But yeah, let's head to North Carolina. All right, man, we are on the road. Headed to SC Raceworks. I wish I had a set of heads. I did not find a set of heads to bring up here to go ahead to have them go ahead and start getting everything swapped over, but I'm gonna find some. Trying to find some ideally with pretty much zero cam cap damage. That sounds like an easy thing, but for whatever reason, that shit has been hard as fuck to find. Finding some without any cam cap damage. Why, I don't know, but that's definitely been the case. But to make this trip, shout out to God. You know, we be thinking everything be so bad and stuff, especially with this car stuff. We can get kind of caught up in the rat race of it all. But shout out to God. It's a blessing to even be here, to even be able to do the stuff that I'm doing and what, you know, we as a car community are doing on a day-to-day basis. Something that we probably take for granted a little bit, but yeah, man, shout out to God. Let's get this trip knocked out. And we made it to SC. Time to get the motor in, see what's up to Eric and Sammy, and see what's going on with it. All right, we got my boy Eric and Sammy. You get me unloaded. Let's get it going, man. And here we got Eric's Fox body. This is a Fox body I'll be wiring up. It's a blower Coyote, of course, with a badass SC Raceworks motor. This thing is a pretty badass 9-inch suspension setup. Tubular front end. Tubular K member. Tubular front suspension and rear suspension. We're going to be going with the Cobra Jet throttle body and intake manifold. Haltech ECU. It's getting a full wiring job. PDM. As you can see, it has some fucking badass. I think those are those are RC comp wheels. The factory dash is going back in. I already got the fuel cell and stuff in the back, so I'm gonna just be wiring up everything. And I'm gonna let this video play out just to show you guys a couple of different things about the car. We got the motor on the stand. Time to get this thing broken down, man. Let's get this thing broken down and let's see what we're gonna find. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just talk you guys through you know, these different parts in the video. So of course, starting off, I'm going to be tearing down the motor. So the first thing, I brought it in with, you know, with the covers off of it. So the first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and get the timing components off. Working on getting those done, and next thing after we get the timing stuff off, then we're going to get all the cam bolts out. And once all the cam bolts out of the head and all the cam caps are out, that'll allow us to take a hammer, lightly tap the back side of the cam phasers and get them loose so we can get those pulled out. And as you can see, I think I should be about to grab looks like the passenger side cams and get those pulled out. There we go. So the passenger side camshafts did not have any damage. The cam towers did have some damage. It looks like at some point, which I'll get to later in the video, at some point we did have some sort of oil pressure issue with the engine. Don't think it was, well, not don't think, I know it was not anything related to like the assembly of the machine work, but it more so pointed to looks like there was a small area where the engine either seemed low oil pressure
or low oil volume in the bottom end, and that caused some trash to run through the motor, and causing some damage to not only the rod bearing, but also the cam towers as well. So that was what we found when we pulled off the first set of cams. Cam caps looked okay, but we're going to go ahead and replace those. Then, of course, you see we have the passenger side cylinder head off, and did a good visual inspection of those while we had everything apart. Looks like we did not find any damage to the rest of the valve train. So the valve springs, the valves themselves, the followers, latch adjusters, they all look fine, along with the pistons and the cylinder walls as well, so far as of in this video. So the next thing we're going to do is start on the driver's side. So this was the side with the broken cam. Got my boy Eric and Nick over, just kind of checking over stuff, and just kind of, we're just talking about the whole situation. Nick was blown as fuck. I mean, nobody in the shop has really ever seen a failure like this. So, it was a pretty wild, thing to see. But we just talked and just kept brainstorming ideas as far as like what it could have possibly been. We looked at a few things like, possibly oil weight. We looked at, at one point I was running a Clearview oil filter. I did take that off due to oil pressure issues, which alleviated itself once the Clearview was off. But yeah, now we're gonna like I said, we got the driver's side camshafts out, as you can see, and the condition of those the camshafts themselves, outside of course the one that was broken in half, and the cam towers, it was about the same as the passenger side. And you would have thought that the side that had the camshaft failure would have had some type of valve contact, but luckily it didn't. Everything looked fine as far as the valves, no damage to the pistons. And then also the cylinder walls looked great, still had its cross hatching marks and all that good stuff. So it looked pretty good. And now we're going to start disassembling the bottom end, because we're just going to do a full teardown on this thing, just to go through everything to see exactly what's going on with the engine. Make sure we're not missing anything or don't have any issues once I go to start the engine back up and go back and race it. So getting each piston and rod out, thoroughly examining everything, looking at the rod bearings. Like I said, they did have some signs of either low volume or some type of trash that's running through the motor. To be perfectly honest, I'm thinking that it had... It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Yeah, it's still hard to say, because I've not had any major situations that would have caused either one of those situations, low pressure or low volume. Like, I've not noticed any like major amounts of trash in the motor, or just anything really significant. But with these engines, man, as careful as we try to be, man, I guess there's always possibility for some error. Still not 100%. I will say we did have a situation where my son stuck a tool in my turbo. So I'm not sure if any debris may have got introduced from that. Who knows, man? But nonetheless, we get everything broken down. So far, thankfully, all the pistons look great. All the rods look great. The coating on my piston skirts, they came out perfect. Cylinder walls are looking great. All the bolts are looking great. So yeah, we are, so at this point, pretty happy with everything, how everything is coming out. Just thankful to not have any major bottom end work. And honestly, as of right now, it looks like the heads can be saved. So just gonna stay positive, and yeah, we're gonna keep rolling through this teardown. So I'm gonna let it play out, and then we're gonna come back and just talk about this some more. Just to point out some more small stuff about the motor, which I've mentioned previously. This is a billet main cap motor, 300M rods, set of custom pistons, U-line coated. I think it has the .927 wrist pins. DLC coated, all that good stuff, just to make and support really big power. So we definitely do not want this thing damaged. Also, it is O-ring, mini hoop, just all kinds of stuff, man. So yeah, we definitely don't want it to have any damage. So, but thankfully everything is looking good. So let's keep on rolling through it. So at this point, since we got our game plan for the motor, we're going to replace the cam caps, new bearings, replace the camshaft that failed, and put everything together. But now we're going to start getting everything cleaned up. So Eric got the block in the bath. We're going to get that all cleaned up, and we're going to start really going through every engine part and getting it all cleaned up. So let's get it knocked out. And we got Eric polishing up the crank. He got it on the lathe and using the polisher to get it all squared away, make sure it's perfect, and put the new bearings back in. Yeah, making sure it's just good to go. And I got the pistons and the rods all cleaned up. Like I said, these are my custom CP pistons with 300 M rods, 625 plus rod bolts. Got my camshafts all cleaned up. Got the pickup tube all cleaned up. Got my guides all cleaned up. The block is all prepped and ready to go. As you can see, I run a dry deck block, so no water runs through the block. So I have my fittings inside the valley that connects to the head, that pushes water through that portion of the motor. And then sealing the heads. Fingers crossed that everything's gonna be fine with those, but as of right now, we think they are. Got my copper head gaskets, and then got the camshaft that broke.
All right, man. A great day at SC. Great day at SC. Shout out to SC. I got a lot to say. Need to get something to eat. I'm fucking starving. I'm honestly tired as hell. Still been up since about 5 o'clock this morning. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep yesterday. But yeah, I'm gonna make another update here in a bit. Let me get something to eat. But once again, shout out to SC. We should be back rolling soon. All right, guys. Back in Virginia. Been busy as hell trying to get my house taken care of. So had to, as soon as I left SC, had to hurry up and get back home. Been doing a bunch of housework and everything since then. I have been popping in and out, working on the transmission stuff for this car. And then, as you can see, started putting together the rest of that red single turbo car. Waiting on a harness for it to come in, and then I will be able to get that back started up and get that all to its owner. Still gotta finish up the transmission stuff for this car. That's really the only thing left. I got everything else wrapped up on it. So, hoping to have the time to get all of that stuff done, hopefully in the next couple of days. But wanted just to make a, follow up on what we found at SC. So, and I'll include a lot of video. At this point, you probably got to a lot of video of me, Eric, Sammy talking about everything with the motor. Also, shout out to what's bro name? Nick. Shout out to Nick over at SC Raceworks as well. We all just got together and, you know, bounced a bunch of ideas. And shout out to Sammy's brother as well. All those guys are, as you can see from the videos that I posted, man, extremely nice, extremely knowledgeable, team oriented, and, you know, that's really how this racing stuff should be. It's a community of us trying to thrive to, you know, be fast. This is a very dangerous sport, so, you know, being fast and doing stuff the right way, being as knowledgeable as you possibly can, that's going to make you successful, but also everybody else around you. So shout out to everybody at the SC Raceworks team. I appreciate all the help. You know, we were able to get the block broken down, fully inspected, went over everything. Bottom end looks perfect. We're just going to swap out some bearings. And so just to talk about the condition of the bearings, because they definitely had some wear to them. And when I first put that motor together, we didn't have low oil pressure, but I had oil pressure that wasn't what I thought was normal. And long story short, went through a bunch of diagnosing with that. And what we came up with, and I'm not just finger pointing the, you know, what I'm about to say, I'm not finger pointing it, but I'm gonna just say I took it off and I didn't have an issue, and that was my Clearview filter. And I'll go grab it just to give you guys an idea of what that is. Clearview is pretty much a very fancy oil filter system, and it allows oil to essentially get double filtered throughout the system. And I mean, you know, if you Google them, there's a bunch of whatever information about them. Here's my Clearview. So that top open view, that's another cool thing about it. You can actually see the oil as it's rotating through the engine, and that top port has a filter built in it, and then it also has a port for a bigger filter as well, an additional filter as well. So I was running the dual filter setup on it. Honestly, I mean, I had been running that setup for about, I had ran the Clearview for at least about 2 years, and I never had an issue out of it. But nonetheless, I will say the only thing that I did was take the Clearview off, and the engine had gained maybe another 100 pounds of oil pressure. I'm sorry, not 100 pounds. So it gained probably another 20, 30 pounds of oil pressure. So, you know, I'm not sure if, you know, by the time that I finally took it off, it caused some damage. But that's that was one situation that I can think of throughout the time I've had the car together with this last refresh. And then I had another situation where on the dyno, we had a drop in oil pressure. We thought maybe that was just from, maybe it was a quart low on oil or something like that. So we added another quart, or maybe it just needed to be filled some. Because I will honestly say I don't run a dipstick on my car, just with my bill of valve covers and everything. But I also always make sure to overfill my system at least a quart. So I run roughly about 10 quarts and a 9-quart oil pan. This is the Moroso drag oil pan. But nonetheless, we had that issue. But afterwards, once we filled it up, we didn't have any other oil pressure drops or anything like that. So I'm just thinking about all the little small instances where a bearing could have been hurt. I had never drained the oil and found a bunch of trash. And even with the Clearview, I had never just had a bunch of crazy trash or anything like that. But nonetheless, you know, that's kind of what we came up with the whole bearing situation. As far as the cam actually snapping in half, truthfully, there was no smoking guns. The cam towers had some, for sure had wear, which we're thinking it could have been possibly I was running either a too heavy of an oil and causing the oil to take too long to get to the top of the motor, which definitely could be possible in this situation. Or because of the situation with the bearings, that could have put some trash through the top of the motor, which caused the excessive wear on them as well. it's kind of hard to tell because the motor ran so long without actually having a catastrophic failure or just even a noticeable failure in general. Like it never smoked, never made any noise, never knocked, tapped, never. And keep in mind, even when I go back to the oil pressure drop that I had on the dyno, I mean, it still dropped within an acceptable oil pressure for their RPM range. So it wasn't just like, you know, even a catastrophic. It didn't go from like 100 to 20 psi or anything like that. So, you know, it's, man, it's just one of those things, man. Probably a combination of a bunch of little small stuff, but nonetheless, that's what we got. And the good thing is we're going to be able to replace the cam caps, check the valve train. Everything looks fine. They're gonna go through everything and just make sure it's good with the heads, and then yeah. So we should be good to go once we put that all back together, which I'll be putting the motor together as soon as, I think, what am I waiting on? I think I'm waiting on Eric to send me the main bearings. And then I'll be able to reassemble the short block and then wait on the heads. I'm going to go with Billet Pro Shop cam caps, which they should have some in, I think, next week. And then yeah. Going to get that thing put back together and go from there. So, you know, sometimes shit happens. You know, I would have loved to got more use out of that iteration of the motor, but, you know, we're going to refresh it, get it back going, good as new, and it is what it is. So I'm not even, it is what it is. It's appreciative I got the you know, the right people in my corner to get through this little small hiccup. So another thing that I'm about to, well, for today, and this is going to be my closeout video for today. I'm bouncing back and forth between the shop and working on my house. So I got some painting and some small stuff to do. Then we're going to actually start moving my stuff back into my house. It's literally all of my shit is packed up in my front yard in a pod and in my garage and shit. But I'm actually about to do something pretty cool. I'm going to switch up my turbo setup. I'm going with some 1/7/8 headers. I'm going to add all the cool shit to it, like the back pressure sensors and all that stuff. And then I'm also going to be moving my turbo kit, and instead of mounting it in the, instead of having it mounted in the top, I'm going to actually have it mounted right there in the fog light. I actually started whipping up a mount for it. I got it all tacked together right now. I'm going to weld it out maybe today, maybe tomorrow, something like that. But I'm actually about to test fit it to see how it looks. I mean, it should be a super solid mount. And I'm also get powder coated afterwards, but I use 1/4 inch thick plate, nice 0.70 chromoly tubing, and then Maven mount. So it should place the turbo right in the passenger side fog light. And I'm welding it up with my laser welder, which I have a Everlast laser welder here. I really love this thing. So yeah, finna get this test fitted, and then I'll show you guys how it looks. All right, guys, and there it is mounted. Looks pretty fucking cool. It looks pretty cool. Just really, I may take that bar off, but I may not. I don't know. I kind of like it. When you see the turbo color that I went with, I think it's gonna make sense because it'll kind of break it up and it'll be noticeable, but not too noticeable. Clearance is great. So my inlet for my turbo is gonna go out and go straight into the intercooler there, and we're gonna replicate the other side. But yeah, that looks great.
So I also went ahead and mounted the intercooler. What I ended up doing was flipping my intercooler upside down, so my turbo inlets are going to be at the bottom, as you can see, and it'll go straight into the intercooler. And then I had to make new brackets for that as well, but I think it fit pretty good. As you can see, bumper fits pretty good. I actually raised the intercooler up some, so it'll have more clearance at the bottom, because before at the bottom it kind of hung down a little bit. But I just want to say thank you guys. If you made it this far in the video, this is my longest video. Definitely appreciate you guys watching. And if you have any comments, Think of any questions. Maybe even have some things to add on to the camshaft failure. Definitely don't hesitate to drop them in the comments. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna try and make this a thing where I'm starting to post longer, more in-depth videos, more vlog style videos, record as much as I can. If you guys like that idea, let me know. And lastly, I do want to give a last shout out to all the guys at SC Raceworks. Jordan at Modular Headshot for helping me out through this process. We're gonna get through this issue with my car. We're gonna get some more cool ass builds wrapped up and keep Juice Built going.